Welcome to this week's Rise with Michelle. I want to talk about something that's harder to name than it is to feel. There are moments when nothing is obviously wrong, nothing has collapsed, nothing has failed, and yet something inside feels heavy, not dramatic, not urgent, just present. You're still showing up. You're still doing what needs to be done. You're still choosing what matters. And yet, there's an ache. This week's Substack came out of one of those moments for me. I wrote it quietly, not because I had an answer, but because I was trying to stay with the experience instead of explaining it away. And what I realized in that staying was this simple truth. The ache isn't about recognition, it's about orientation. That distinction matters more than we think because when effort goes unseen, when progress doesn't announce itself, when there are no clear markers telling you where you stand, it's easy to assume something is wrong. It's easy to believe that ache means you missed something, misread something, or should be doing more. We're conditioned to interpret discomfort as a signal to adjust, to recalibrate quickly, to prove ourselves, to push harder so the feeling goes away. But sometimes the ache isn't asking for more effort. Sometimes it's asking a quieter question. Where are you facing right now? Orientation is different than motivation. It's different than validation. It's different than reassurance. Orientation has to do with direction, not feedback. When you stop chasing recognition, when familiar motivators lose their pull, there's often a moment of disorientation. The external signals that used to guide you fade, and you're left standing with yourself. That can feel so unsettling, especially if you've lived a long time in survival. If your body learned early on how to adapt, anticipate, and endure, ache often gets translated as danger, as failure, as a sign that you should move away from yourself to restore safety. Illness deepens this pattern. When your body becomes unpredictable, effort stops guaranteeing outcome. You can do everything right and still wait, still not see results, still feel suspended in between what was and what's coming. And in those moments, it's tempting to abandon your inner compass and look outward for direction, to let response determine worth, to let speed determine progress. But sometimes the ache means you're no longer outsourcing your direction. Sometimes it means you're standing still long enough to feel what's actually true. That doesn't feel triumphant, it feels exposed, but it's honest. And honesty has a stabilizing effect that constant adjustment never will. Recalibration doesn't always feel like relief. It often feels like quiet, steadiness, like choosing not to move away from yourself just to make the discomfort stop. This is not a collapse, it's a pause where something is lining up internally, even if nothing has shifted externally yet. Nothing about this moment needs fixing. It isn't asking to be solved, it's asking to be felt. Not so you stay here forever, but so you don't abandon yourself on the way forward. If this is where you are, you're not behind, you're not failing, you may simply be orienting. And that is a different kind of work altogether. So until next time, same space, same heart. You are not broken, you're in the in between and still rising.